Yep. Y'all know what time it is. We got to expose the extraterrestrials. The grand deception is finally upon us. The United States Pentagon has officially brought this into the mainstream media discussions about extraterrestrials, the mothership. They're saying that extraterrestrial motherships could be in our solar system. They're desensitizing us to this concept so they can make way and prepare us for this grand deception. So now we got to talk about it, because I've been talking about it for 10 years. I've been telling folks for 10 years. Preparing. We already know. A lot of y'all surprised. Some of y'all might be surprised about this. We not surprised. The elders prepared us for this years ago. Years ago. We know exactly what's happening, and it's happening exactly how they said it was going to happen. So gather around, share this live, family. Go ahead, share this live. This is very important information. We need to make sure our people, black folks, know what's going on. Peace, peace, peace. Brother William, what's going on? Divine peace. Share the live, put it in your group, put it in your favorite group. Give y'all some time, you know what I'm saying? Let's get that done. We're going to make this very clear about the stolen legacy. It's not just white supremacy we got to deal with. It's not just whitewashing we got to deal with. I've been saying this for years. I said we're so far behind the mark. We ain't even figured out white supremacy yet. We ain't even figured out, got over those challenges. It's a whole nother level past white supremacy. Now you have the extraterrestrial supremacy agenda. It's agendas on both sides. White people got their agendas. Extraterrestrials got their agendas as well. They have minds. They may not have emotions, but they have logic. They have ideas. They think. They have survival mechanisms, survival desires. What is it about? Why are they interjecting themselves into affairs that's happening on planet Earth? Why is this even important for them? Why is it necessary? We're going to cover all of this. Why are they out here? Why are aliens racist? Why are they out here taking Africa's legacy? Drop some fire. Where y'all coming in from? Where y'all tuning in from? Go ahead, share the live. Just get around the shadow band. Y'all already know how they do. Y'all know how they do me out here. They definitely shadow banning. Peace, peace. What's going on, Mary? Peace and love to you. I just gonna come drop a little bit of energy on y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that we always resisting the agenda of any opposition, any adverse agenda. Trinidad and Tobago in the building. Ghana's in the building. Nigeria's in the building. Where else? Where else y'all tuning in from? Mobile, Alabama, right next door to the stove. What's good? What's going on? I see y'all over there in Alabama. Yeah. Where y'all tuning in from? We know exactly what we're dealing with, family. I want to let y'all know that the sacred traditions of your ancestors, black folks, the sacred traditions of your ancestors are your only defense. This is the only mental defense you have for your mind in these times of grand deception. The sacred traditions. Ohio, what up? Jennifer, I see you. Jennifer Moreland. Yeah, we need more land. We need more land out here. So the energy of more land and increase has just joined the live. Thanks to Jennifer out in Ohio, OH10. Shout out to my boy Maul out there in Canton. Shout out to my boy out there in Canton. Rail, welcome home. Ghana's still in the building. Okay. The sacred traditions of our ancestors, family, is the only defense we have in these times of grand deception. Because they come in for our mind. They come in for our perception. They want us to see the world in the way that they want us to see it. They want to make their reality or their fictional reality our reality. You see what I'm saying? Be very careful. That is the nuclear. That is the new nuclear weapon. That's the new atomic bomb. It's to convince you to see the world in a way that the world does not exist. To get you, and it's really the ancient atomic bomb, because it's the same old trick. It ain't nothing new. Why do they want us to see the world in this way? Why is it so important for them to have such a stronghold on our mind? Huh? If y'all know that ain't gonna happen, just let me know in the comments. Say, nah, it's a no for me. Tell me, say it's a no-go. If you ain't going for that grand deception, let me know in the comments that we smarter than that. We already woke. Look, we've been telling folks what's going on. I'm going to break down to y'all how aliens stole our legacy, why they stole our legacy in this live. I'm not going to make it too long. I'm going to touch on a couple sources. Y'all know the same sources I've been dealing with. I've been, y'all know what we dealing with. Y'all know which traditions we're dealing with. Botswana, Kikuyu, huh? And we deal with, we let in the Nazarite scroll because we found out that the Nazarite scroll corroborates the knowledge that we got, huh? Already. We smarter than that. Like Cassie just said, we smarter than that. It's a no. It's a no-go. The Black folks delegation has spoken, and we have consented. Mr. Alien, thanks, but no thanks. It's a no for us. It's a no for us. You can check in with the white brothers and sisters and the Asian brothers and sisters and the Latino brothers and sisters, or whatever, however you want to classify them. You know what I'm saying? For us, it's a no. It's a no-go. We can't go with that. So look, I'm gonna tap in real quick. We're gonna go to the text first. As y'all know, we're reading from The Great Investigation, which is a comparative analysis between the secret Nazarite scroll and the secrets coming from the Black Root Science, which is the Botswana tribe. And we're going to see what they have to say. And then first of all, we're going to see who are these aliens? Who are these extraterrestrials? You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to go into it from there. So I'm going to read from chapter 73 in The Great Investigation. Just real quick. It's a very short chapter. It says, the secrets mention extraterrestrial species interfering with humanity and classify them into different family groups. The Black Root Science gives the most descriptive account of the family types and where they originated, but the Nazarite scroll also touches on it. So we're going to start with the Nazarite scroll. It says in the Gospel, chapter 53, verse 21, it says, behold, the first seraphim were of the reptile family, of the most vicious kinds. Know this, each soul wears whatever form of flesh that most fits its thoughts, desires, and actions, unless an undercover mission from above. And the most dangerous of the seraphim were called the dragons, and not only because they were the most vicious they were, but other reptilians are just as vicious. Black Root Science comes and says, as stated before, and this is chapter 31 from Black Root Science. It says, as stated before, the light-skinned races, which means non-black people, do not have the power to perpetuate their physical existence forever. They have tried other methods to extend the life of their species. They started about 4,000 years ago to genetically produce new races. They combined their procreative genes with the hardy and more enduring genes of certain insects, reptiles, and mammals to engineer new races out of themselves. Many of their genetic experiments were unsuccessful, and the leftover products, those that survived, became abnormal monsters and beasts, some of which still exist to this day. But with the help of our ancestors at the time, the ancients, they finally became successful and created 3 basic new types of races. This is also corroborated by the Zulu tribe. If you know the Sanusi, Credo Mutwa, return in peace, and resurrect in paradise. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to the beloved Sanusi elder, Credo Mutwa. He also revealed that these extraterrestrials, so-called aliens, do not originate from outer space. They were created right here on planet Earth. They were created on planet Earth. This is a part of us getting into this alien stolen, Africa stolen legacy by the aliens. They the ones that stole our legacy, huh? But let me before I put that down, let's go on to it's 3 chapters that I got right here touching on the ETs. I'm gonna go to the next one. ETs kicked off of Earth. Now this comes back to where I was saying they started on Earth. Drop some fire in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. Let me know if it's a no-go. Are you getting on that ship? When they start recruiting people to say, hey, who want to go to the other planet over next door? You gonna get on the ship or you gonna stay your ass right here? What you gonna do? Be honest now. How many of y'all curious and want to see what's going on the other planet and you gonna get on that? You gonna get on that ship with them? Who's gonna get on that ship? Huh? How many black folks gonna get on that ship? Okay, let's go to chapter 74. ETs, extraterrestrials, kicked off of planet Earth. And it says, the secrets both give a fascinating teaching about how the extraterrestrials / Lucifer that came as a result of genetic experiments once crossed the line. The secrets both give a fascinating teachings about how Lucifer / ETs that came as a result of genetic experiments once crossed the line on Earth to the point where the Elohim had to intervene and kick them off the planet. So we're going to start with the book of Noah. The book of Noah from the Nazarite scroll. It says, chapter 12, verse 2 says, behold, just as they arrived at the port, the Lord and Lady appeared in the sky above Atalia. This is where they were doing their genetic experiments and mixing genes between different species. It said, yea, and their voices filled the sky as they declared, children of earth, the time of the banishment of the false god Lucifer has come. Then behold, all of the seraphim were transported from their beds wherever they stood and were instantly within their sky ships. So the ancients came. In this one, it's the Lord and Lady, meaning, Jade and Jannah, or as, some people would say, Yeshua and Miriam in their former incarnation before they came as Yeshua and Miriam. They came and they kicked off these seraphim, which are these Lucifer's soldiers, basically. And they transported them wherever they was at. You just like in a twinkling of an eye, teleported them into their sky ships. And it says, then the sky ships were hurled into space far from Earth. So they got kicked off of planet Earth. And again, this was not the doing of the seraphim, but the doing of the Lord and Lady. Yea, Lucifer and his seraphim were banished from this world, and it happened in a blink of the eye. And lo, this happened not just at Atalia, but all over the world. Yea, wherever there were seraphim on this world, they were cast away into space. Behold, the laws of intervention limit this type of intercession by the Lord and Lady. But Lucifer crossed the line of what will be permitted on this world. And if he or others again cross that line, again, the Lord and Lady will intervene. For thus they have declared, and their word is true. Amen. Now the Black Root Science. Now that comes, what we read just comes from the Nazarite scroll. This is the scroll that the followers of Yeshua and the different messiahs, they were killed. People were killed. As what I did by reading this to you 3 seconds ago or 2 minutes ago would have been illegal 2,000 years ago. If I got it out in public and started reading the word from these scrolls, the actual authentic, more authentic scrolls, this is not the King James version. If I was reading this to y'all 2,000 years ago, I would have been killed. Or I would have had to been doing this in secret. You know what I'm saying? So don't take lightly what you just heard. This comes from the Essenes, the Nazarene, the Nazarites, the Nazarene Essenes, the scroll, the Torah, of the actual. Okay, now let's keep it moving. Now let's fast forward 2,000 years later. Now the Botswana tribe is declassifying their secret knowledge. And they say in chapter 60, verse 59, on your last question, the Anunnaki are not the Elohim. They are not our ancestors. They are a race of human-looking, now extraterrestrial beings that remained on the earth for about 200 years after their appearance. So after they created, they stayed on planet Earth for about 200 years. They colonized a part of the Middle East near Iraq and Iran. and they used the people who lived there as servants. There have been wars between them and other extraterrestrials, some involving nuclear bombs. The Elohim expelled all the ETs from the earth shortly thereafter. So they're using nuclear bombs back in the day. And our ancestors had to be like, nah, okay, now y'all done crossed the line. Now we know we gave your progenitors, which would be the white folks. We know we gave white people the license to be evil, but y'all taking it too far. Y'all got nuclear bombs out here in 2000 BC. You know what I'm saying? 4,000 years ago. That's too advanced for that. Like, no, you can't be using nuclear bombs. Y'all got to get the hell up out of here. Take this shit to Mars. Take this shit to Venus. Take this to some other galaxy, but not here. Not on Earth. This is the gods, the baby gods, the forgetful gods are on this planet. Y'all can't be doing that too much. So they kicked them up out of here. The Elohim expelled all the ETs from the Earth shortly thereafter. They continued to fight with each other on and off for a period of time, but soon stopped when they all developed weapons with which they could totally annihilate each other. So they have fought for each other. They have fought with each other in the past, but never with the Elohim. So, which is another thing that I'm going to get to that part. The Anunnaki permanently left the earth after their prolonged stay and have not returned since, but they will be back along with the rest of the ET races in the near future as the cycle winds to an end. Now, mind you, this information came to us over 20 years ago, or about 20 years ago. About 2 decades ago, the elders started declassifying the secrets and letting us know. But before I go into the last chapter I'm going to read, which is about the location where the ETs were created. Locations is not so important right now. Let's talk about this right now. Like he said, they continued to fight with each other on and off for a short period, but soon stopped when they all developed weapons with which they could totally annihilate each other. So they have fought with each other in the past, but never with the Elohim. Now, listen to the gravity of this statement. I want to touch on the gravity of that. They never fought with our ancients. So let's break it down. What is the distinction? The distinction is this. Our legacy is the only legacy of creation. We are the only species, black folks, humans, who have a legacy of creation. We created everything that you see, including ourselves. We self-manifested, we emanated ourselves into existence. We willed ourselves into being. That's because our mind is not the brain. Our mind is not the brain. Our mind exists inside and outside of our body. This is the mystery of blackness. This is the mystery of blackness. The mind is the blackness that you see when you look into outer space. The mind is the blackness that you can't see because it is beyond the realms of the universe, beyond the boundary of the universe, I mean. So this universe sits within a womb of the mind, a dimension of the mind. It's surrounded by ether, is what I'm saying, by nothingness, but which is everything. Our mind has the power. Our mind yields the power of the body. What does that mean? Not the brain. I'm saying the mind of God, which is our mind. It has the power, the same power that we have in the body, because it has the power to create the body, to emanate the body, to condense itself into a body through 7 levels of manifestation, starting with the magnetism, condensing into electricity, further condensing into light, which then further condenses into ether, which is once again the mind, which further condenses into gas, which further condenses into liquid, which finally condenses into the solid state that we're in right now. The 7 stages of manifestation, all things that exist within creation, the physical realm, 3rd dimension, must travel through those 7 stages of manifestation in order for us to actually perceive or see something. Anything we see, this red cup, this napkin, this book, this knife, it's all traveled through those 7 stages. The mind has the power. The mind exists before those 7 stages. The divine mind of God, which is our mind, has all intelligence within creation and outside of creation is already there. All universal wisdom, all cosmic wisdom, all the totality of knowledge exists before creation. It's already there. Before the world is created, the power and knowledge of how to create the world is already there. It's already in the blackness within the universe, the ether, the divine mind of God. You understand that? Okay? So, with that being said, we hold that legacy of being the ones, who emanated, being the ones who manifested, who self-manifested from the blackness directly from the mind. When the mind said, look, I'm ready now to become a human body and I'm ready to create the universe from that human body. The mind has the power to do that. And it did that. It was not an alien that created, the Anunnaki did not create the human being. The Pleiadian, the reptilian, the gray, the shay, the nay, the yay, the hey, ray, none of them created humans. Humans created humans. Because of the spirit, the mind that's inside of human is divine. It is the mind of God. It is the spirit of God, and the spirit and the mind are interchangeable. The spirit is the mind, not the soul. The soul is the personality. Now, that's different, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the stolen legacy. I need you all to understand this, because there is a grand deception that's taking place. And one thing that this grand deception that the aliens now, because now we're past white supremacy, even though we still got to deal with that. In this conversation, we're looking past white supremacy. We're looking at what is the extraterrestrial agenda. What agenda do they have for us, for the people that living on planet Earth? Share this live, family. This is very essential knowledge. I don't care where you got to share it. Share it in somebody's inbox. Share it in your favorite group. Do something. Make sure this message gets to the people, because y'all know they shadow banning me like crazy. And if you know you ain't getting on the ship, let me tell me it's a no-go. Tell me in the comments and where you listening in from. Let's go. The agenda of these extraterrestrials is going to be based solely on a misconception of supremacy, thinking that they are superior, thinking that they have one up on us, thinking that they yield the power of creation, or that they, you see what I'm saying, are us. The only thing that could make you look up to these beings is the fact that you're looking at them as having the power that is actually inside of you. Now, how ironic is that? They have to pretend to be you. They have to pretend to hold and contain the capacity that you actually have in reality, in order for you to buy into their bullshit. It goes back to the question of how do you sell water to a whale? I know the answer to this. And it's the same thing with this alien thing. How do you sell water to a whale? I'm going to tell you how to sell water to a whale. In order to sell water to a whale, you have to convince the whale that it's not wet. Drop some fire in the comments if you hear me. In order to sell water to a whale, you have to first convince the whale that it's not wet, that it's not already having water, that it's not surrounded by water. So in order to sell divinity to black people, can we bring it back home now? In order to sell divinity to black people, which is the same exact analogy of selling water to a whale. By the way, how do you sell divinity to black folks? You have to convince them, that God is outside of them. You have to convince them of a division, of a separation between them and divinity. You have to pull the wool over their eyes. You have to steal their legacy. You have to convince them that you really black and they really something else and that they not. As we know, from a traditional indigenous standpoint, the color black is synonymous with divinity. So when we say black people, we mean people of God or God's people or divine people or people of divinity. That's what black people literally means from an esoteric indigenous black perspective. How do you sell divinity to black folks? You got to convince them that it's outside of them, that they don't already have it. That is where we go wrong. That's where you're going wrong. And that's why I'm telling you, your only defense is the sacred traditions of our ancestors. Aliens stole our legacy. When you look into history, you will see, and I'm talking about the public narratives, you will see them saying that, Anunnaki created humans and this or that. They had us minding, and what they'll do is they'll give you half truths and half lies, which is a whole damn lie, right? A half truth is a lie, but they'll mix and sprinkle they'll sprinkle a little bit of truth in there. Yeah, the Anunnaki did have servants and slaves out here. Yeah, they was doing that for sure. But they wasn't out here creating humans. They was not out here creating humans. That part, no. Time and space never witnessed that behavior from them. They was killing a bunch of humans. They was killing folks and extraterrestrials. They was warring out here. They was blowing up nuclear bombs. Yeah, they was doing that. But they did not yield the power of creation. Now, one thing they did create was the damn lies. One thing they did create was the damn lies. Okay. Now we see white folks and extraterrestrials, they have something in common when it comes to creation. It's very hard and difficult for them to create and originate an original, be original until it's time to start telling some damn lies. Now they've demonstrated throughout history to be very efficient and proficient in that sector. But let's not buy into it. Lots of products are made every day. It don't mean you got to buy everything that's on the market. Especially if you got something, or if you already got a fridge in the house, what you going to buy a fridge for? You should go shopping for something else. You see what I'm saying? They stole our legacy as creators, and I don't want y'all falling for that. We are not the Anunnaki. They are not related to us. There are definitely historical texts out there that would allude to some of this stuff. But guess what? Just like somebody can write a book full of lies today, you know what they was doing? Just because you found a 4,000-year-old book or a 3,000-year-old book, does that necessarily mean that everything written in that book is true? Houston, Texas. What up? H-Town. Just because you found a 3,000-year-old book, does that mean everything in the book that's written in there is true? Does it mean that you should run around preaching verbatim, face value, everything line for line, precept for precept that you find written in a 3,000-year-old book just because you're 3,000 years old? No, it does not. because you have to understand the context of that time period. Now let's talk about the context of that time period, so that way we can kind of get a understanding for why there's literature out there that reads certain ways. Why is there literature out there that reads certain ways to make it seem as if these Anunnaki folks are gods? You know what I'm saying? Well, first of all, one reason why they're written and depicted as gods in certain people's perspective, right, from 3,000 years ago, is because it damn near would appear that way, right? When you got folks who have forgotten their divinity, or who have separated themselves from their divine culture, and then you have a bunch of new folks, like, i.e. white folks, who never had a divine culture. They never had divine powers, right? They were never tapped into the level, at least that we were. We taught them how to tap in on the 33 degree and the 36 degree level. But beyond that, but the 33 and the 36, that's nothing. That's like baby stuff, right? Compared to where we coming from. So they never experienced divinity. They never experienced, teleporting through dimensions and traveling through the sun, going to the seventh heaven, going into the galactic central sun, calling the orbs, stepping into the orbs, flying in your vehicle. They never experienced those things. So when them white folks at that time witnessed these things, of course, they would say, oh, these must be the gods. Shout out Grenada. Shout out Grenada. You know what I mean? Anunnaki are not black. Someone said, if we're not a part of the Anunnaki, why do we share the same skin tone? They're not black. We don't share the same skin tone. This is what we're talking about right now. Anyway, so let me continue, because I'm ultimately addressing the point that this brother is making right now. When you read and you do your research, you find literature that would make you think certain things. But what I'm trying to ultimately show you is that this stuff was put out there by a brainwashed generation, by a brainwashed era, civilization of people who actually lived with these people, or not people, the hybrids, these crossbred people, these extraterrestrials. There are several generations. There's literally 7, 8 generations. There's like 7 generations of people. Now think about how long that is enough. That's enough generations to create a whole culture. Think about 7 generations. That's me, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, my great-great-great-grandparents, and my great-great-great-great-grandparents. That's 7 generations right there. Damn near, right? I don't know what the hell my great-great-great-great-grandparents, I don't know what the hell was going on back then. So all I can do is take what they saying and I got to run with it. You see what I'm saying? 7 whole generations of these people being of these Anunnaki, literally dominating society, enslaving people, being the baddest thing on the block at that particular time. So the legends and the stories that's passed down is going to paint them in that light. But how comes they don't never tell you about this part about getting kicked off the planet? Why do we have to wait until the elders? Why do we have to wait until the priesthood broke silence on that? How comes the Anunnaki didn't tell us that they got kicked off planet Earth? Why did the African priesthood have to come back behind them 2,000, 4,000 years later and remind us of that critical detail? Oh, you just gonna forget to tell them that y'all got banished from planet Earth? How critical of a point is that? Let's think about this. How critical of a point is that? Why are there traditions out there of these Anunnaki getting kicked off of planet Earth in a manner where they couldn't even fight back? They didn't even have the strength to oppose. They could not even assert their will to stay and argue for grounds to remain on Earth. They had to leave because there was something more powerful than them, more mightier than them, actually divine. And that was black folks. Our ancient ancestors, the ancients, the true ancients, the 24 elders, the 144 chiefs, the 60,000, what people call Elohim. So understand the hierarchy. There is ranks and levels to this shit. Absolutely. Book reference. I'm giving you two books. The Sacred Scroll of the Nazarites. It's a 2,000-year-old book. If you go to my site, matter of fact, let me pin my comment. If y'all don't know where to get this book, I'm gonna pin it in the comments real quick. thegreatinvestigation.com. Let me do this. https www.thegreatinvestigation.com. This is free. You guys can download this material for free. It's not going to cost you absolutely nothing. How do I pin that? Pin comment. Okay, boom. I just pinned the comment in the comments. Go and download these sources because we need to know this. Why did they leave that very critical detail out there? Ain't nobody hear about it. And it's several different sources, not just one. Not just one. Now we have the Black Root Science, which comes from the Botswana. We have the Secret Nazarite Scroll, which comes from over there in Lebanon. And we have Credo Mutwa coming from South Africa, a whole nother tribe, saying the same exact thing. That the ETs, they did not come from outer space. They were created here. They were a byproduct. They are a byproduct of cross-breeding genetics. Whatever you want to call it. Genetic experiments. Taking the genetics from white folks, specifically white people, taking genetics from specifically white people and cross-breeding them with genetics from reptiles, insects, and mammals. Okay? We have words for these people written in hieroglyphs. Here's a whole nother reference for you. Now, this one you need to know kind of what I'm telling you right now, but I have a whole more evidence. It's still evidence at the end of the day for people who's asking for evidence, called the Tamahu. Look into the Tamahu. They say it means the created ones, which is it's contextually accurate, but it doesn't mean creative ones. What was the word? Because it's not actually Tamahu. That's how white folks, they don't know how to read the hieroglyphs. You know what I'm saying? Tumehua. It means to be extracted from blood. To be extracted from blood. Why do we have ancient words written on the walls of Egypt 4,000 years ago? Why do we have ancient words that mean to be extracted from blood? Do you mean to tell me that 4,000 years ago, Egyptian and African people knew the concept of extracting things from blood? What could we possibly be extracting from blood that's utilized for our daily life? I thought blood was just blood. I thought people, so you mean to tell me that blood can be separated? Like you can extract something from blood? Like how can you extract something from blood? Blood is just blood. Huh? That's how we think primitive people, quote unquote, ancient primitive people would think. Yet they have words in their language that evidence the reality that they knew about genetics, genes, DNA. They knew about this because they were extracting things from blood and they wrote it on the damn walls. And there's a whole group of people who's classified under this designation as extracted from blood. So what kind of people were walking around 4,000 years ago that our ancestors called them extracted from blood? These are the damn hybrids and extraterrestrials, the Tamahu. The Tamahu, what you people, you think they're talking about white folks, they were created from white folks and they look like white folks, but they are not actually people. This is the thing. This is the thing. Just because you see a human form drawn on the ancient walls of Egypt does not necessarily mean they were depicting a full human. Drop some fire in the comments if you did y'all catch that? I need to know y'all caught that. Did you just catch what I just said? Please let me see some fire in the comments, somebody. Did you get what I just said? Just because you see a 4,000-year-old depiction of what looks like a human being on the walls of Egypt does not mean you're actually looking at the depiction of a full-blooded human. They were hybrids, crossbred people, half man, half something else, or whatever ratio it was. You see what I'm saying? Be very aware, family. These are the people who stole our legacy. These are the people who actually had a hand in infiltrating as well, infiltrated bloodlines. There's hybrids out here, family. Now, let's keep it moving forward because now we got to talk about their agenda. What is the agenda? Because they were created from a very weak gene pool. I told you they were created by white folks' genes, crossbreeding white people's DNA genetics with mammals, insects, reptiles. White folks' genetics are already weak. They're already weak. Huh? So when you take a weak gene pool and another weak gene pool and you crossbreed them together, what do you think? What does weak plus weak equals? Weak plus weak equals weaker. Weaker. You see what I'm saying? Weaker than before. And specifically weaker than before. Because the point I'm trying to get to is these extraterrestrial aliens, their genetics are weaker than white folks' genetics. Now we know we've done a lot of research as to, the recessive genes of non-black folks. You see what I'm saying? Now we know they're weak. But what you didn't know was that the aliens' genetics are even weaker than theirs. And that's why the deception needs to be in place in order for them to have any type of leverage in this situation. That's why the lies had to be put in there. Now, I'm not taking from their intelligence. This does not take from their intelligence. Okay? I'm taking from their genetics, and I need you all to know that they will not exist another 2,000 years, another 1,000 years. They will not exist. They are dying out, just like the Europeans and white folks are dying out. These extraterrestrials are dying out. The only way to bolster their species, the livelihood and the existence and the continuity of their species, they actually have to come back to their progenitors, these white folks, the human beings, the real humans down here, and they actually have to take the genetics from us or from them, right, from people, and they have to crossbreed with actual humans. You see what I'm saying? That's what they got to do. They cannot do this. They cannot prolong their species by themselves. They're not able to have babies like that. You see what I'm saying? They're on their way out, just like white folks is too. But at least white folks can at least reproduce their own babies right now. These aliens, they don't have that. So they had to create a scenario where they can basically kidnap a bunch of humans, and then have them as just a genetic gene farm, a farm of genetics. This is the danger that we're in right now. Not us particularly, because, we are actually eternal. Black folks always going to be here, and they only going to be able to cross the line so much with us because we still got our, uncles, our ancient uncles and aunties and them. You see what I'm saying? And grandpa them. Great to a million time grandpa them. You see what I'm saying? We got the 24 elders. We got the 144 chiefs. We got the long-lived people. Just like how in the Bible people used to live long, thousands of years. Yeah, those are our people, and they actually still around. They actually still here. Those are the people who actually came and kicked them off. You see what I'm saying? Kicked them off the planet. So they only going to be able to go so far with black folks anyway. You see? But the deception, they can go 100% with the deception. The destruction, now they won't be able to destroy black folks, but they can deceive us as well, because and it's really us deceiving ourselves, because the aspect inside of our mindset that would allow us to be deceived is really our sympathy for non-black folks, us wanting to be like them, us wanting to, see the world from their vantage point. You see what I'm saying? Those are the things that's going to allow us to get tricked in the first place. You see what I'm saying? Because if we was steadfast, shout out to my boy Maul. Hey, I shouted you out earlier in the live anyway. Cat in Ohio, OH10. What up? What up? But look at this. Look at this. What was I saying? What did I say? I was saying that we got to think like them. We got to basically, that sympathy inside of us is the same thing that always messes us up. See, sympathy, the science of sympathy, and I've been meaning to do videos on science of sympathy. I need to do a whole series, or I need to just do a lecture on the science of sympathy. But the science of sympathy needs to be understood. Why are the elders telling us that we cannot have sympathy for the non-black races? You see what I'm saying? It's a ritualistic significance in that instruction of them telling us that we should not and cannot have sympathy for them. Sympathy is integration. Sympathy is integration. Integration is a weapon against the progress and the definition of us, of our people. What does that mean? That means that if everything was integrated, let's say your brain, your brain has a right hemisphere and a left hemisphere. If your left hemisphere was not distinct or distinguished from your right hemisphere, it would just be one. You see what I'm saying? The functions, it would be discombobulated, because that's not how it works, because of the law of polarity. You see what I'm saying? You couldn't even exist if sympathy was the dominant force in just the physical world, because of mitosis. When a sperm impregnates an egg, and now that egg got to grow into a human being, it undergoes a process called mitosis, where one egg or one cell, whatever they call it, zygote, or whatever the hell it is, I don't know, it splits into two. Now you have defined one side and the other side. If that was to remain integrated, you would never have any growth. You see what I'm saying? Definition is what creates this physical world. When things are defined, things are defined. You see what I'm saying? That way. I'm just giving y'all a little example, a little analogy. Don't get too stuck up on that, because all I'm saying is we got to maintain our own perspective and our own identity. We have to identify with the traditions that we received from the people who loved us and cared about us enough to write down the truth on the walls and pass down the truths and protect the truths, go through extreme initiations, extreme circumstances to be able to preserve the knowledge and the wisdom of the universe that allows us to be one and to, to be one with the universe and the world around us. They pass that information down to us. Those are the people who we gotta honor those people, honor those traditions, see the world from those traditions. And then you will give yourself the highest vantage point that's available to a living form, a life form in this dimension. Why not attack the world or engage the world from the highest position, Because, you use higher forces against lower forces. When higher forces are asserted against lower forces, the lower forces have to conform to the will basically of the higher force, or the purpose of the higher force. Don't operate on the lower force, on the frequency of the lower force, because then you subject yourself to higher forces. And forces that may not actually be authentically higher. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So we have to just look at it from that perspective, family. Be yourself. Don't be them. Y'all feel me? Be yourself. Don't be them. See the world from the way that, you know, your people, your community passed down. It's a whole program. You see what I'm saying? We are not limited. There are no limitations in this. Okay. Anyway, let me keep it. I don't want to go off on a tangent. Let me keep it moving. Technology. Let's talk about extraterrestrial technology. Alien technology is based on African technology. First of all, ancient indigenous technology. Alien technology. Yes, it does exist. Absolutely. I know people who actually reverse engineered alien technology. I know people who work 9 levels above the president. I know people who work in Area 51. By the way, Area 51 is not high on the totem pole. That's where they give the semi-advanced stuff over there. We know about it. And you can guarantee if the public knows about it, it probably ain't as important as, you know, we think it is. So let me just give y'all a little bit of that first and foremost. You see what I'm saying? But I know people who have worked and reverse engineered alien technology. It is definitely there. Absolutely. These people receive technology from these aliens or whatever to reverse engineer to give them some type of, you know, scientific advancement or progress or whatever. You know what I mean? Area 52, I don't know about Area 52, but I can tell you Area 51 ain't what people say it is. You know what I'm saying? It is, but it ain't. You feel me? It ain't all the way what we say it is. You know what I mean? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Alien technology is based on African technology. Another stolen legacy. Where are these people superior? They are not on our level. Ships. We built the best ships. We got the best ships. We know we have the technology to turn a whole planet into a ship. We have the technology to take a planet off of its planetary orbit and subject that planet to our will, our directional will. If we want to go east, we're gonna make the planet go east. Huh? It's a whole ship. Like Nibiru. Yes, indeed. Nibiru is a ship, but it's not an actual ship like a metal ship. It's a planet that was modified by our ancient ancestors, specifically our ancient ancestors, the ancestors of the actual ancestors, the direct lineage of Black Americans and Black Caribbeans and Black South Americans, the Black folks in the diaspora. Our specific ancestors specifically are the ones who are on Nibiru. Now Nibiru looks like a planet. If you were standing on that ship, which is technically a ship because it's able to be steered and controlled, but if you was on the ship, it would look like you were standing outside in some grass. You just feel like you outside. You see what I'm saying? That's a bigger technology. That is a more powerful, that is a superior, supreme technology. We doing those type of things. Black folks, not brown. I'm talking about black. Like look at the background where you see where it says alien stole Africa's legacy in white. What color do you see behind that? It's black. That was the color of our ancient ancestors. That's the color that we used to be. Not brown, black. Okay. Anyway, I digress. Technology. They don't have nothing up on us. Aliens ain't shit compared to us. It's all about you. I don't care what level you want to go through. It's all about you. You don't need anything else. It's hard to believe sometimes that you got everything that you need to do what you're here to do, to overcome any challenge or obstacle in your way. It's hard to believe that sometimes. It's something else I got to go get, or I got to get the money, or I got to go and get this education, or I got to go to school. I got to find somebody to do this. Sometimes it's hard to believe that you actually have everything you need to progress and succeed on your path, to fulfill your destiny. It's hard to believe sometimes that the spirit matrix is actually that precise. and your actual life path, every conversation you would have, every person you would meet, every place you would go, to the exact point that you would actually die and ascend from on this planet was already encoded into our incarnation. It's hard to believe that the spirit is so divinely like next level like that. But that's the way it is, family. That's the exact way it is, in fact. It's called destiny. It's called purpose. You came here for a reason. Now, there's different levels of purpose. There's different levels of destiny. You got a personal level, a personal purpose, and you got group purposes. Huh? Your person, your family, your community, and your nation. As a nation, would you believe it's the same exact thing? As a group, as a whole nation, we have everything we need to succeed. Everything we need to fulfill our purpose as a group, as a nation. We're actually not missing anything. It's all there. Even the unity. Unity is there. It has to be utilized. Unity is the most underutilized resource that we have as a people. Not that we don't have it. It's there. We have been programmed not to use it. Think about the power that you have to fly into the air and teleport. It's actually already in you. But guess what? You're not using it. Your memory. Sometimes you forget something. Does it mean that it's not inside your head? You have it. You just having trouble accessing it. For whatever reason, it's there. You can't undo what was done. You can't unsee what you saw. You can't unbe what you became. And you became as soon as you were born. You already came here with a purpose. Your purpose is already set in stone. It's already there. So what I'm saying, I'm just saying all that too, because you know I get off on these analogies sometimes. But all I'm saying is, family, is we have everything we need already. Can you teleport? Absolutely. You can tell. All black folks can teleport. I don't know about non-black folks. All black folks can teleport. That's the 7 methods of transportation. You walk. I mean, you crawl. You walk. You run. Then you fly. Then you dematerialize. Then you can travel mentally. And there's one more. I skipped over one, but it's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. But anyway, family, I was talking about the technology that we have. Chris, you obviously don't get what the hell we saying, talking about let's see you do it. You're missing the whole point of what we're saying. So what you do for now, just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. You're missing the whole point of what we're saying. We're not utilizing our brain power, family. We are underutilizing our brain power. We're underutilizing our resources such as unity. We're underutilizing a lot of things that we actually have. It's dormant. We've been sleeping on ourselves for a long time. And that means they got us right where they need us. Huh? Once again, how do you sell water to a whale? You have to convince the whale that it's not wet. How do you sell divinity to black folks? You have to convince them that God is not already inside of them. You have to convince them that God is somewhere else, that they don't already have the divinity. That's how you sell divinity to black folks. And right now we've been dormant so long that it's easy now for them to come in and to sell us these concepts, these lies, these falsehoods that aliens created us. Aliens are more superior. They have better technology than us. They have more ability than us. They're just naturally more powerful. And we're in such of a messed up mental state that we would believe these things. That's why I'm here today. take this energy. I'm just giving some energy out there. This is just energy for y'all to take this and spread it. Share this live, but share this knowledge. Share this live, but share this knowledge. Yeah, you can share the live, but share the knowledge. Take the energy that I'm giving you in this live and give it to somebody else that you know in real life. Somebody who you know they're not going to watch this live. You got to be able to, you have to be able to convert this knowledge and this energy that I'm giving you right now in this live. And you got to be able to deliver that to some folks within a couple minutes. Plant the seed. Use this energy that I'm giving you. Go and plant some seeds. Do some gardening today. Do some gardening, fam. That's all it's about. We out here planting seeds because we need our people to be on point. Because now we're talking about a collective purpose. We're talking about a collective perception, a collective mental exercise, which is a ritual, which is it's an energetic shift or energetic repositioning. It's an energetic repositioning, family. It has magnetic and electric consequences and repercussions, or whatever you want to call it, reactions. All right. So this is what it is. Everything that they sold you and told you about these extraterrestrials that would make them seem more grand than us is our own stolen legacy. It's our own stolen legacy. Anything that they could say to make you feel that they the best, you know what I'm saying? It's coming from you. It's founded on something that got to do with you. And that's all you got to know. So when they come and they want you to leave, you know that, nah, we not going to go. That's all you got to know, that nah, we not going to go. And that's all. And that's what it just comes down to. I'm not going to go for that. And in fact, it's a no for me. It's a no for me. So I'm going to crack back open the sources. I'm going to read this last little chapter. Great investigation, y'all. For y'all that just joined the live, maybe y'all. No, I'm going to finish off. I'm not going to reread that. Y'all rewind it back to the beginning. Or just go download the Great Investigation. I pinned the comment. I pinned the link in the comment. It's free. This is actually free. You can get it from the website. All the knowledge that I'm sharing with y'all is free. I'm not trying to say you nothing. You can, if you want the physical book like this, you know what I'm saying? Then yeah, you're going to have to pay for that and it'll get shipped directly to your house. But you can go download the PDF of the Great Investigation. You can download the PDF, and this is nothing but a comparison of the African Secrets in the Black Root Science, which you can also download from the website for free, and the Secret Nazarite Scroll, which you can also go and download for free. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the knowledge from the 12 seers of Mount Zion, which you can also go and download for free. Everything is for free, family. I want y'all to get this knowledge. That's what I want you to do. Who was the author? I'm the author of this one, but this is just a comparative analysis. The author of the Black Root Science is an initiate from the Botswana tribe, which shared the information anonymously, which was then corroborated by the Secret Nazarite Scroll, or Nazarite Torah, which was written 2,000 years ago and protected by the Essenes. It came from Lebanon in the 60s. And the white man got it. And, he's been keeping it, secret for all these years. And then I got a hold of it because, my videos inspired somebody that had it to send it to me. And when I realized that it was our knowledge, because it corroborated the knowledge that I was already, sharing, of course I put it out there. What you mean? What you mean? I cracked the seal. I cracked the fifth seal. I cracked the fifth seal of Enoch, and use the authority of the Naka star. Use the authority of the Naka star from the Carina constellation to break that seal, using the power of the priesthood to just bust that whole thing open and say, you don't have the power and authority to keep me from obeying the actual instructions from the priesthood that I am committed to, the true guardians of the scrolls. And I put it out there, and it's out there for free. So who is the author? The author is the ancient priesthood of Africa. And I was going to read to y'all the location where extraterrestrials were created, to show y'all that our traditions even got them down to a pin on Google Maps. We know we can pull up Google Maps and show you where these folks came from. Let's go. Chapter 75. The location where aliens were created. Very surprising to me when I decoded this revelation that both teachings actually give the same account about the general location where genetic experiments took place to create extraterrestrials. This similarity did not immediately jump out at me, and I actually had to do a little linguistic decoding. But I thank the God of our ancestors for showing me this revelation, because I know many people will appreciate this information. First, let's see what the source documents say about the location. So we're going to go to the Secret Nazarite Scroll, the Book of Noah, chapter 1, verse 44. 144, stand up. Look at this. It says, "Lo, some of the arts of warfare were kept secret from the humans, for fear they might rebel against the seraphim," which were the agents of Lucifer. "Wherefore Lucifer and his generals lived on an island where they kept their most powerful weapons and means of travel. Behold, they had ships that flew in the air like birds." This is 2,000 years ago now. 2,000 years ago, this scroll. "Some of those ships were small and carried only a few seraphim. But some, like the one that first brought the seraphim to our world, were large enough to carry many. Yea, and the large sky ships could fly among the stars. And the seraphim general in charge of the large sky ships was named Kokavel, which means star of God. And the name of this island was Atalia, Atalya. And from Atalia came many wonders and abominations. For the palace of the false Yahweh was a castle of black wizardry. Yea, evil smoke circled overhead, foul and toxic to humans. Here they made small ships to fly in the sky. Here they made small ships to fly in the sky. But behold, only the angels of Lucifer, who were the seraphim, were permitted the knowledge to fly them. And the general of the small flying ships was named Ramael, which means thunder of God. And here is where they made their staffs of fire, like the one that killed Abdiel." We're talking about staffs of fire, guns, not swords and spears, guns, staffs of fire, written in the scroll. This is the one, once again, that used to get killed for having this scroll, the real Nazarite Torah. Let's go. "And the general for the making of the staffs was named Barakel, which means lightning of God. And here is where they made their poison gourds that exploded with fire." Now they talk about bombs. "And the general in charge of making the exploding gourds was named Zikiel, which means fireball of God. Behold, the only humans permitted on Atalia were slaves, Canaanite soldiers to guard the slaves, and the wives and children of Lucifer. Even the children of Lucifer remained on the island only long enough to be trained in the dark arts. Then they were sent to various lands to do the bidding of Lucifer. The several thousand slaves were kept for their labor. Lo, the slaves were kept in ignorance and fear. Yea, they believed their masters to be gods." This goes right back to what I said. It goes right back to what I said. And in fact, I'm going to pull up something in the Black Root Science as well that corroborates this statement as well. Let me finish this one right here. But I'm gonna come back to that. I got something for that as well. That's very important. Yea, they believed their masters to be gods. Imagine 200 years a slave, not 12 years, but imagine 200 years a slave to these beings who got ships. I'm talking about 4,000 years ago now, who got ships, who got guns, staffs of fire, and who got, what do they say? Bombs, guns, and ships that fly in the sky and out into the stars. Huh? And all you got is a donkey or a horse to ride on. You feel me? Of course, you're going to look at them like they're supreme beings or superior beings. You see what I'm saying? And of course, if you was to tell a story about them, about these gods, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, you might image them, in your image, just like white folks do today. When white folks, sell you an image of God, they're going to create it in their image. So just because you see images of black folks, or black folks creating images of Anunnaki or whatever, and it's in their image. Because back in the day, black folks, we was the dominant society. You see what I'm saying? We had the power. We had everything back then. You see what I'm saying? So it's no different. There was blackwashing that took place, just like there's whitewashing that takes place today. You see what I'm saying? So don't be surprised if you take a look and you see things that make you think for a second to associate these aliens with us. They are not us. They are not us. Once again, yea, they believed their masters to be gods. They had no love for their gods, but feared them. Of all the foul arts on this island, the foulest of all was that called mixing. Yea, the seed of one creature was mixed with that of another, and parts of this one combined with that one, and the egg of one scripted with the essence of another. Let me read that again. This is a 2,000-year-old scroll talking about genetic experiments. It said, yea, the seed of one creature was mixed with that of another. And they said that this is the foulest of all the arts, was mixing, integration, sympathy. I'm showing y'all this is the worst thing we can do. Shout out to Dr. Umar, who be on y'all for getting on, for the mixing. Anyway, yea, the seed of one creature was mixed with that of another, and parts of this one combined with that one, and the egg of one scripted with the essence of another. Many wicked fruits of this black art now crept the lands, defiling Mother Earth. And now we're going to take it to the Black Root Science. Chapter 60, verse 55. It says, now the actual experiments where the Elohim took part to successfully produce the ETs were done in 3 different locations. One in the Middle East, another in the area near the Adrian Sea, where Greece and Turkey are now located, and the third in Central America. The reptilian beings were produced in Central America. The insectoid beings, or the greys, were in the Middle East, and the mammalian beings in that part of Europe where Turkey is. And the mammalians would be like the humanoids, the Anunnaki. The names of the earth people, of the earth race people involved in these experiments are none that you would recognize. They are not recorded anywhere in known history. So here's some added interpretation. Now, the Nazarite scroll names the island of Italia as the place where this took place. And Black Root Science names the Adriatic Sea. But here's what's interesting. The etymology of Adriatic brings you to the word Adria, A-D-R-I-A. In linguistics, y'all know I deal with the linguistics. The letters D and T are interchangeable. Therefore, Adria is also Atria, A-T-R-I-A. The other linguistic key is that the R and the L are interchangeable as well. This means that Atria is also Atlia, A-T-L-I-A. This is just one vowel sound from Italia, which the Adriatic Sea is on the eastern border of Italy. But there's more. Black Root Science mentions, first of all, if y'all followed along with that, I know it's easier to see if I can show you the words and the letters like on a whiteboard or something. But if y'all followed along with that, let me repeat that. A-D-R-I-A is interchangeable with A-T-L-I-A. And in the Nazarite scroll, it says that the location was the island called Italia. And here we go. Corroboration. This is corroboration. Thoughts on the Anunnaki? I'm telling you right now. We went over that. We went over that. Like I said, there's more. Black Root Science mentions that this as the location where the humanoids, such as the Anunnaki, were created, and charges them with using nuclear bombs. And the Nazarite scroll says that exploding gourds, aka bombs, were made there on the island of Italia. The scroll also says that slavery was taking place here, and the Black Root Science also attributes the Anunnaki for using humans as servants. Funny enough, bordering the Adriatic Sea to the east is Yugoslavia. Slav being in the etymology of the word slave. There is no doubt in my mind that the dark history of this area contributed to the present day name because such is the nature of secret societies. With this evidence, I am prepared to assert that the hidden powers, aka Illuminati, aka the synagogue of Satan, is very well aware of the history of this area. And for that reason, the Vatican, which is the throne of Satan on earth, is located in Italy, and Yugoslavia is somehow a tribute to the esoteric history of that area. This is my own intuition, and I'm not passing it off as a concrete fact, but I'm passing it off as a very much acceptable perspective. So we see even the location of where these beings came into existence are corroborated from different sources. Both sources coming from the priesthood, right? So we cannot, once again, cannot allow these folks or these extraterrestrials to run off with our legacy, right? And come back and sell us our own legacy. They did that in Africa. They got the Bible from Africa, left and remixed it in Europe or whatever they did, remixed it wherever they remixed it at, and came back to those same cultures and sold them the remixed culture. Now the white folks already did it. Now they coming with the same play. It's the same play. This alien extraterrestrial supremacy perception is nothing but the repeat of what they did with the Bible. They coming back selling us our own legacy, wearing our legacy as a uniform, as stripes, as 7-star generals. You know what I'm saying? And want us to fall for it because they look like us or their legacy is ours. And it's something, it's like, man, it's something about that I'm fucking with because, yeah, it's you. You fucking with yourself. They took our stuff and they coming back wearing our legacy and trying to, convince us that, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, but now we're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let that happen, family. Be very aware. Share. Here, there, everywhere. If you care. This is what we got to do. Exactly what we got to do, family. Take this energy, share it with somebody, have a conversation. They putting this in the news cycles now. You can talk about this with you at the dinner table now. It's on CNN. It's on Fox. The Pentagon just put out a report saying that it's likely or it's possible that a mothership containing extraterrestrial life is in our solar system visiting planets. This is in the news now. Don't let these kids, y'all kids is listening. Protect. You have to be armed with this perspective, with this energy that I'm giving y'all. Even if you don't read the full, if you don't go back and do the back research like I did, to know this beyond a shadow of a doubt for yourself, to be able to really push it like I'm pushing. You don't have to push it like I'm pushing it, right? You don't have to know everything that I know. You just have to take this energy, and tell them kids, we not fucking with them kids. We not fucking with them aliens. They us. They trying to be us. Let them go figure it out. If you're not going to do the research, just put this energy out there so somebody else, that inspires somebody else to go do the research. Just share the energy. You know what I mean? The Anunnaki, in closing, I said I wanted to share something about the Anunnaki. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick on my laptop. 1 second. Black Root Science. Let me search the word Anunnaki real quick. I want to read something from here. And I think I probably already said it. Anunnaki. I think I already said it, more than likely. But I just want to read it directly from, okay, right here. This is coming from chapter 60, verse 59. And it says, on your last question, the Anunnaki are not the Elohim. They are a race of human-looking beings that remained on Earth for about 200 years after their appearance. I did read this already. They colonized a part of the Middle East near Iraq and Iran, and they used the people who lived there as servants. There have been wars between them and other extraterrestrials, some involving nuclear bombs. The Elohim expelled all the ETs from this Earth shortly thereafter. They continued to fight with each other on and off for a short period, but soon stopped when they all developed weapons with which they could totally annihilate each other. See, they had wisdom. Now, this is the, oh, I'm not finished, because now I got to tell y'all about the true supreme beings. So we talked about them long enough. I'm going to wrap up on them. Then I'm going to come right back around and let y'all know who we is. I'm going to show y'all what to focus on. We're going to look past these folks. We're not looking at them. We're looking past them. I'm going to show y'all what to look at. But first, let me just finish off. Let me wrap them up real quick. They continued to fight with each other on and off for a short period, but soon stopped after they developed weapons with which they could totally annihilate each other. So they have fought with each other in the past, but never with the gods, never with the Elohim. The Anunnaki permanently left Earth after their prolonged stay and have not returned since, but they will be back with the rest of the ET races in the near future as the cycle winds to an end. And there's more I wanted to read. Okay, one second. There's some points I wanted to make. Okay, so look at this. Look at this. All right. So there was a question somebody asked about the Anunnaki and some structures, some stone structures or figurines or whatever, carvings that Black Root Science was addressing. So it says, the stone carvings are most likely depictions of the Anunnaki. It's hard to tell without going into an in-depth investigation, but it's extremely unlikely that they are depictions of the Elohim. There are no such stone carvings on Earth that I'm aware of. Now, the Anunnaki were indeed light-skinned, as you thought, or meaning non-black. They did not look like us in reality. You know what I'm saying? In real life, they did not look like us. They didn't have our skin tone, none of that stuff. They are not associated with the actual nation of gods, which are black folks, right? The reason they may have been depicted as black people could be just a simple one of familiarity, i.e., or example, the same reason that whites depict a white Jesus and black Africans depict him as a black man. It may be the case that those carvings were used in some rituals that the people learned from the Anunnaki, such as the ones you mentioned about rekindling the pineal gland. Since the Sumerians were black people, it would make sense that they carved the Anunnaki gods as black people in order to use their images in rituals. There were many such rituals that sprang up everywhere after the ETs left the Earth, that were used in remembrance of them or as a source of power, etc. Exactly as still happens today among many native people who carve representations of their own gods and demigods. This is common where the purpose is other than to depict an accurate rendition of historical facts, right? So for purposes of representation, you can create an image, right? And that image, like anything like this napkin has the power and energy that I give it. You see what I'm saying? This may look like a regular napkin to you, but if I put certain energy and power into this napkin, it is what I give it, because I have the power. We have the power to do those things. You see what I'm saying? So they may have depicted certain figurines or carvings that were meant to depict the Anunnaki, and it may have been Negroid features or whatever, but that's because for ritualistic purposes, they were giving it that energy, but it was not for the purposes of actually depicting like historical fact or how they actually look. You see what I'm saying? Now, on the question of the nuclear blast, there were indeed localized serious effects. You will find them reported especially in the Hindu/Sanskrit literature, where they talk about people's flesh, eyes, and tongues falling out, which are clear after effects of nuclear detonations. Even though they were long-term effects passed to future generations, they have since died out. Remember that this nuclear war occurred almost 4,000 years ago. Let me see what else to talk about the Anunnaki. Okay. So I'm going to keep reading because there's some more about the Anunnaki in the next paragraph. Nibiru is a natural planet that has been modified in such a way that it can travel across space like a large spacecraft. It is not an artificial object in the sense of being built from scratch. It's a modified large planet that used to wander across the heavens unattached to any solar system. Oh, any solar system. If you were to get on it, it would appear to you just like an Earth. The technology involved in its modification is far, far beyond anything known to modern people. And yes, it belongs to the Elohim, not the Anunnaki. Almost nothing is known outside the tight circle of initiates about the fact that the Elohim actually originated from Earth and used to come and go openly among the Israelites in ancient times. But the rumor of the presence of gods always spreads far and wide. Since the Anunnaki were the first commonly known gods to have lived on Earth for an extended period of time, some of the activities of the Elohim that are rumored are mistaken for those of the Anunnaki. So when modern people decipher the writings of the Sumerians and other ancients, they assume that the only gods to live in that area were the Anunnaki. And so Nibiru is associated with them, when in actual fact, it is not the case at all. You see, so so there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of layers to this, to our ancient story and the narrative. Some of it and a lot of it is just simply miscommunication, misunderstanding, mistranslated, understanding of time period, under missed context, missed context. Was people glowing different colors in ancient times. We had auras. We had like an outer aura. But this is way before, I'm talking about way before white folks. This is back when we all lived for 7,000 years, except for the 24 elders and 144 chiefs and 144,000. They lived longer than 7 years. But this is back when the average person was living for 7,000 years. The babies in them, well, yes, we did have like a outer type aura type thing that, could change colors depending on different situations or whatever. But anyway, it's not what we're talking about. So, yeah, anyway, that is what we're talking about. Because now we're talking about the ancients, the real people that we need to be looking at. As we were just saying, a comparison between the ancient black folks and the Anunnaki. There is no comparison. There is no comparison in intelligence, in technology, in physical appearance, physical abilities. You know what I'm saying? There is no there. So when you talk about the black nation, when you talk about black folks, you're talking about the actual physical embodiment of the divine mind. You're talking about the actual physical embodiment of the spirit, of all divine intelligence. The concept of divine intelligence is represented by the black human body. That's what the black human body means. It means divine intelligence. God in flesh. That's what it means. Nothing can beat that. Nothing can overshadow that. Nothing can overpower that. It's like you're looking and you're looking and you're looking for something better, only to realize, well, damn, I'm as good as it gets. I've been wasting my time, wasting my days, searching for a place where I belong. But if I look in my mind through the black gene, you find that you are truly God. Don't let them tell you wrong. Don't let them tell you no nonsense. Yes, I said we are truly God. Don't let them lead you on. My people, clear your conscience. Once again, we are truly God. Who created black people knowing we made ourselves? Nobody. We made ourselves. From 1 to 2 to 3 to 7 to 12. To the 24 elders, we honor them well. So don't rebel and don't sell out. That's what they want us to do. Liars say the etymology of theology goes back to theo. But oh, no. So much better we know. Theo derives from the closest original word to God, which is demo. Demo. And when all black people combine, that is Modemo. Anyway, don't look to them, look to us. Share this live, but even better, share the energy in real life. Share this life. Share this life. Don't just share the live. Share the live, but share this life. This is energy. Life is energy. I just gave you my life. I just gave you this portion of my life. I put it right there on wax for you. I gave it to you. I put it inside of you. You did your mind into your mind. Now you have it. You can put it in somebody. You can put it in the next. And especially our people. So with that being said, family, with the facts being read, family, they saying black means it's dead, but these niggas got some crack in their head. These niggas smoking crack in their head if they say black means it's dead. Big up King, big up King, big up King. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, man. We out here, you know what I mean? We just putting in the work, putting out the energy. So I want y'all to share this life and share this live. And, you know, just do what we can, because these are the times of grand deception. And they want to start desensitizing us to the idea of interstellar space travel. They want to take us to different planets. They want to see who's the sucker, who's gonna fall for the bait, who's gonna take the bait. Who's going to think that the extraterrestrial is so great? Who's going to exchange the two birds in the bush for the food on their plate? Who lacks the patience to wait? But the seers have opened the gate, and the elders in Africa, they have opened the gate for us to escape the white man's fate, because it's really theirs. It's really theirs. Their fate is not ours. Their story is not ours. Our story is ours. Our story is ours. All right, y'all. Look, I love y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all for sharing the live. You know what I'm saying? It looked like we made it past the shadow ban this time. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. You know, look, we got some now, you know, in back in tuning into the world of, you know, what's going on out here in the world. It's some powerful things going on. It's some powerful things going on. And they really trying to, I see what's going on, to be honest. They watching the progress that certain people are making out here. And I think they're trying to speed up their timeline and their agenda based on the progress that we make. And they say, damn, okay, they didn't made it this far. Okay, look, we got to hurry up and bring in these damn aliens. Because if we don't bring the aliens in now, then these folks is going to take over before we get to make it to this point in our agenda. You see what I'm saying? And we doing some real powerful things. Black folks out here doing some real powerful things. I'm telling y'all, cities are being built. Jurisdictions are going up. Cities are coming up. Prophecy is being fulfilled. Jurisdiction of our people is coming to us. We're going to have our own everything. Our own everything. Death music is on its way out. Huh? The righteous vibration, the divine frequencies are coming back in. The divine mind, the wisdom is being poured out. And the gates, the access has been granted. February 16th, I made a post and I told you the access has been granted on the Black Panther anniversary. And I'm glad it happened that day. And I can't even go into detail and tell y'all what actually happened. But I'm telling y'all some things is going down. It's going up, actually. The ancestors are with us. Ancestors are with us. This flood. And look, the flood is happening in California right now. March 9th on the anniversary of the first deadline, the same day. Remember, if you look what happened on March 9th last year, Ryan Coogler got put in handcuffs for stealing, even though he wasn't stealing. But the irony is that he was stealing, even though he wasn't stealing from the bank, but he was stealing from the indigenous bank, the knowledge bank of Mount Kenya, knowingly aiding and abetting theft. And he got put into handcuffs on March 9th. Now, why much was what it is about March 9th? Now, before then, the significance of March 9th was that was the original deadline that the Chief Seer's messenger gave Disney to, you know, I'm talking about right when it was fresh, back in 2018. When he found out about the stuff, he called me on March 4th and he gave him to March 9th. But the significance of that, March 9th, it's a whole nother connection to that. I ain't even gonna go into that. I'm not even gonna go into that right now. There's no need for me to put that information out there right now. But there's connections on top of connections. There's plenty connections for the connections. Trust me. Plenty. My rooms got rooms. My rooms got rooms. My connections got connections. I ain't gonna go into all of that. But what happened this year, March 9th come and they talking about, oh, that atmospheric river coming. Now look, Oakland flooding, California flooding. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the lightning strike on the statue? I got a whole video about that. Check out the video I put out. I put that out maybe a couple weeks ago. It ain't too far down my page. Just go look at my page. I put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There was a significance, but it was connected to the body when they pulled the president of the Jewish community in Antioch, the biblical city of Antioch. They rescued his body on that day, and then hours later, lightning struck. And that was the city where the word Christian originates from. You know, and I got a whole video about that. You know what I mean? But 1216 is 9. Yeah, you're right. Nine tribes, the 9 clans of the Kikuyu tribe. Facts. March 9th, 39 is 9. 112, 39. Yeah. 3 times 3 is 9 for sure. So, all right, y'all. We out. For real, for real. I'm gone. Peace.